Yo, my name is Daedric Days, and I am freezing my nards off today. It is cold as hell out here. I am under two blankets at my computer, and I am freezing. But kind of wanted to make a video about talking about like Discord communities, my experience with them, and just kind of like what I've gone through in them, in the few that I've been in. And I also want to say this is like disclaimer. My experience is not the definitive experience. It is not what everybody has gone through. This is what I've kind of seen and experienced for myself. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't whatever. I just wanted to kind of put it out there. Uh, so my biggest when I first started using Discord a lot, I had joined like a big streamer Discord. Not gonna name names. Not gonna say anything like that. But I joined a big streamer Discord. And it was really nice, there was like people always talking in it, people constantly chatting like 24 hours. And it was cool, and I was very active. I talked all the time in it. And I got to meet some cool people. I got to know some cool people. I met two really, really good friends in there. And kind of the issue was I had started to notice was that people that knew each other, who had been around there a lot longer, they only talked to each other. So there was kind of this like isolated groups of people who knew each other, and then it's not like they weren't welcoming to new people. I didn't really get that welcoming kind of experience. I had people who would talk, certain people would talk to me here and there. There was a couple, and but for the most part, every time I talked or every time I said anything, like chat went silent for like 20 minutes, and that was kind of a long time in this particular Discord. And I had my other two buddies that had really good buddy that I had made friends with. They noticed and they commented and they would always ask me like, why does everybody just go silent? Like, why does everybody ignore you? Or they would try to keep the conversation going and they would try to help me out. And it just got to this like really like, I don't want to say toxic because people are free to talk with whoever. I just never felt welcomed or well regarded, and I saw it with a few other people too. I was kind of on the worst end of it, and obviously everybody had their own personal stuff. Everybody has their own life. I don't expect everybody to, oh my god, it's so and so. I was using a different name. They're like, oh my god, it's so and so, we need to talk to them. No, like, everybody's living their life, doing their thing. It's all good. uh, but when I was in this big kind of streamer Discord, there was a lot of the time just the older people who were a part of the Discord just didn't make people feel welcomed. Like they didn't want to ever talk to the new people. And so there was kind of this like isolated groups again of like people who knew each other and just the new people who would make friends with each other here and there. And one of the things that had kind of like really been rough was there was a lot of drama. There was a couple of like younger people. One of my buddies was like a younger dude, and he kind of fell in love with some online other younger girl, whatever. They're young, they're dumb, and didn't know each other, lived in different parts of the world, but they were just always having drama. And it was like them two and this other chick that joined, and then for whatever reason, me, who was like, I think I was like 25 or 26 at the time, they kept trying to wrap me into like teenage drama. And I just kind of got to the point where I was like, look, you guys, I'm an adult. I have a job. I have like responsibilities and things I got to take care of. Like if it's not important or an emergency, you from this time to this time don't message me. Like just leave me out of it. And like I had to really draw a line. I didn't have very many friends, didn't have friends IRL at work or anyone. I just didn't have anybody kind of there for me around in that time of my life. Going through some rough patches, and then just the constant teenage drama, the bickering, it just made me not want to make friends even more. Because I just got tired of like, there's never anything happening. There's always just some problem of nothing. And I got tired of the drama in the discords and all that, and So I was like, I drew a line, and I was like, look, I'll join in and talk when I can, but understand I have like an 8-hour job. I have to do this. This is me making a living. And so they kind of stopped messaging me every moment, and eventually there was kind of some big drama that came out of it, and the group broke up, and I was kind of over it at that point. I stopped talking in the big Discord. I stopped trying to be a part of it because I just always felt unwelcome. I just always got tired of people only wanting to be friends with certain people, and then just nobody ever being welcoming or friendly. And so I kind of dropped out of it, and eventually I joined a smaller community, one of a smaller streamers community, and that was also like one of the first kind of Discord that really started talking to, because there was a pretty big, like, I think there was like a 1.5 year gap of time where I just didn't talk to anyone, and like on Discord IRL, like I didn't really have anybody I could talk around with. Eventually I made some IRL friends, and I started to talk a lot more in some Discords, just like 1 or 2, and it was good for a time. But one thing I had kind of started to notice was, like, the dude who owned the Discord didn't really talk a lot in his own Discord, and none of the mods or anyone talked, and it kind of got to a point where it was just me and like one other dude saying good morning to each other, and then that was just the repeat loop experience. And every once in a while you would have somebody else pop in the morning and be like, oh, good morning, like, hey you guys. And that was really it. And I kind of got to this point where I was just like, what am I doing? Like, and again, I'm my mindset with Discord is, if you don't like the kind of community you're in, just leave it. It's somebody else's Discord. It's somebody else's thing. Go make your own if it's a big problem for you. Like, you do not own it. You are not in control of it. Like, that's why I left the big one. Like, it's not my community. Cool. This is me having a problem with them, not them having a problem with me. So I left it. And I kind of got to this point where I was like ready to leave it. I had another Discord where people were a bit more welcoming. We were doing community nights. We were, doing watch-alongs, playing games, and I got to meet some cool people, like people who we were playing Repo. We did some Elden Ring Night Rain, and I just got to know people, and I got to play games with people, and it was wonderful. I got to just horse around on these games with a bunch of strangers, and it was so much fun. Those community nights were some of the best nights I had in a long while. And what had kind of gotten me was that, like, I got to the point where I was just like, what am I getting out of Discord? I was like, I get to talk with the people and meet new people, and it's really great, but it's also giving me a lot of anxiety. When I talk in chat, people aren't talking back. When I'm, constantly the only person who's trying to make the conversation going, or whenever there's someone new and I'm the only person like welcoming them. And I think that was my problem, is I was trying too hard to make Discord my social life. That should not have been the case. First and foremost, go touch grass, right? Like, I have IRL friends now. We talk all the time. We hang out. We do stuff. We go drinking. It's normal good shit, right? These are my boys. These are my friends. These are my ride or dies. I got them now, but I didn't have them then. And I think because of that, I was trying to make Discord like my whole life. And I was always just having like anxiety. I was in a million different Discords. I could never talk in them though, because I was always ignored in that one big streamer Discord. Now I'm having problems in all the little ones. But the little ones, people were a lot more, I guess, welcoming, and like, they were a lot more willing to talk. They were a lot more willing to, like, be there and be understanding. And eventually, because one of the Discords, I was ready to just kind of drop it and just, like, I'm tired of me and this one dude saying, oh, good morning to each other. And I was ready to leave it, but we had like one other girl join, and every morning she would be right there with us saying good morning, and then the conversation would start to kind of go from like, 2-hour talks to like they went to like 6-hour talks, right? And they wouldn't be super consistent. People would only be messaging like every 30 minutes to an hour because we were all just working at the time. We would say good morning, like, yeah, I'm off to work. Yeah, I'm having some tea, some chai latte, whatever. I'm popping an energy drink, I'm tired as hell. That's all it was in the morning. Was just us kind of talking about how our day started. And it was nice because it got to the point where now just there is a lot more people talking, and there is a lot more people who are involved and active, and people who have been a part of the Discord forever, and then they just never talked. But now they are talking. Now it is just everybody everybody joining in here and there. You don't get everybody talking at every point in the day. That's fine. Discord shouldn't be your main life. Go live your IRL life. That is the important thing. But Discord was such an up and down for me, and just in general, right? Like, one thing I had noticed was that a lot of the mods in Discords, in these like streamer communities, they'll only talk in like a mod channel only, like a mod private channel. And then you have the mods and the main guy who are like kind of the focal points of the community, never talking with the actual community. They're all just in their own little private mod leader chat, and it just kind of causes the community to die off. And I don't think that's great. I think, if you want to have a community, if you want to have a positive community, you need to be talking, you need to be welcoming and open. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I don't own my own Discord, so like, what do I know really? To be fair, but it is something I've noticed, and I see a lot, is just when like the main people who don't own the server or the mod, if they're not talking, the server starts to die. Like, they don't need to be talking every moment of every waking day, but you'll go for like weeks on end without hearing from anyone, or you'll go like 4 or 5 days without hearing from like one of the kind of major server people, and then just the server starts to die because you have people who only want to talk to certain people. You already have the pre-made friend groups when you join a server, and they're not talking with each other. Where does that leave everyone else, right? I don't know. The kind of point of this video is that when you have people trying to be a part of a community, it does take more than just the community trying to hold itself up. A community is everyone playing their part, right? If you see new people, be welcoming. If you don't need to always have someone's permission to be like, hey, I play this game, anybody else play, you want to join? Like, don't be afraid to hit people up. Don't be afraid to do things outside the community. I know several communities where people are like, hey, I have this movie, anybody want to do a watch along? And I'll see people like, hell yeah, dude, let's do a watch along. And kind of getting to the cutoff point, but the point is, a community is everybody together. It is not the few select people having their own private groups. And just, everybody needs to be a part of it. Everybody needs to join in and have fun. Thanks, good Lord. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, that's it from me. So, thank you for watching, I guess, and I will see you beautiful people later. Bye-bye now.